Yup, I keep forgetting to re-edit that so there's not so much blank space at the end. Whatever. Hey up, it's Steve, and welcome to episode 4 of my thoughts on each Star Trek episode series. Excuse me. And this week we're up to the animated series, and I've just realised I didn't include a shot of the Enterprise from the animated series in that opening montage, did I? But anyway, Win Grace asks, how many of these episodes did you remember when watching through? I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, won't we? when we get to them. Right, so as I said, we're up to Star Trek the Animated Series, which is from 1973, I think. Yes, 1973. Is it canon? Is it not canon? It depends who you ask. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. I like to think it is, even though it kind of contradicts stuff, but whatever. It's a cool animated series. You can't call it, I'm surprised they just didn't call it Star Trek the cartoon, but they just went with it, didn't they? Called it the animated series. Not all of the original cast were brought back. Of the main cast were brought back. They didn't bring back Walter Koenig as Chekhov for some reason. So I like to think after. Oh no, he didn't, 'cause he came back in in the motion picture, didn't he? I would say after season 3 of Star Trek, I would say maybe he went off. Maybe that when he joined the Reliant, and we know he became the first officer of that ship, didn't he? Eventually, but he was in Star Trek the motion picture. Maybe he came back to the Enterprise briefly while it was being refitted. I don't know. I'm just waffling. Anyway, so. What were I saying? 1973, it came out with 22 episodes. For some reason, there's 16 episodes in season 1 and 6 episodes in season 2. Why? Don't know. The only difference between them is the first season is directed by Hal Sutherland, and the second season is directed by Bill Reed. I think it's Bill Reed. Yes. That's the only difference. So I don't know why they split it into uneven seasons. But anyway. I'm going to say something. I forgot what I'm going to say now. Never mind. The music. They decided not to stay with Alexander Courage's music from the live action series. They went with new music from Ray Ellis. I think some of the music for the animated series is better than the actual series. Wingrave says, fun fact. Doohan does a lot of the voices, but it's impossible to tell. It's being sarcastic. Yes, well, they all do all the voices. I don't think they've got anybody in, to do some of the other, the guest characters. You can tell it's actually quite annoying at times. It is. He's like, that's just Uhura. That's just Sulu. They don't even disguise. Only James Doohan that tries to disguise his voice. All the rest just do their own voice. But anyway. Right, so as I said, there's 22 episodes for us to get through. They're about 25 minutes each. I'm watching them on Netflix in the UK, so we'll just whiz through each episode, and some are good, some are not so good, as usual. But anywho, so we'll get on with it. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, drop a comment. If you remember, you can join us in the live chat. Explore the description for various links for merch, such as stuff like this. My Patreon page, my books, and other stuff. Right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? So, right, here we go. Add it to the stage. There it is. Star Trek the Animated Series. The first episode is called Beyond the Farthest Star. Who wrote this one? Samuel Peoples wrote this. I think he wrote some, actual Star Trek episodes as well, didn't he? It sounds familiar. But this is the first episode. And it's not too bad. We'll have a listen, actually. I'm going to give you a listen to the theme. Because although it does have, Alexander Courage feel to it. Hang on, just a minute. Here we go. To explore. In a minute, hang on. kind of cool. I do like it. Very Jeff Love, if you know who he is. But it's cool theme. I like it, and it sticks in your head all day. The music from the animated series has been rattling round me empty noggin. Anyway, so off we go. Right, we begin. Hang on, see if we can find it. There we go. Beyond the Farthest Star, written by Samuel Peoples. So off we go. So, right, the Enterprise ends up... I think it gets... Is this the one where it gets sent out of the galaxy again? It could be. They find a spaceship. There it is. That's been destroyed somehow. So the beam... Oh, this is where we first see the instead of using spacesuits, they have life support belts. Not sure how they work. Oxygen and all that. But they do. It means they don't have to bother with clunky spacesuits and all that stuff. But anyway. So the beam over. There you go. It's some sort of crystalline spaceship. And there's the life support belts. Look, I'm guessing inside this force field that they've got around, there's enough oxygen for them to breathe. Or maybe it's all in the belt. Who knows? But anyway. You know what? I've genuinely forgotten what happened. I've got the subtitles on, by the way. Yes, I have. Right. Which is this one? I can't bloody remember. It's the first one. I knew I'd forget them. Bear with me. Bloody hopeless I am. Yes, I thought so. Yes, I thought so. Yes, it's the ship is going to try and destroy them for some reason. I don't bloody know. But anyway, they get out of it. They do a slingshot maneuver, and get back into our space, regular space, and there we go. And off to the next adventure. It's fine. I don't know if it'd make a good opening episode. You'd have thought that the next episode that we're going to see would have been the best opening episode, but never mind, it isn't, because the next episode is probably the best of all the animated series as episodes, because it's Yesteryear, written by DC Fontana. Here we go. Hang on, skip intro. We can do away with that, can't we? And here it is. Hang on, where are we? Where is it? Where are you? There you go. Yesteryear, written by Dorothy Fontana. And we get a lot of Spock info in this one. Because it's an animated series, they probably didn't bother airing them in order anyway. That's true. But anyway. Right, so we're at the Guardian of Forever. And here it is. And I think Kirk and Spock have been doing exploring in time. We see another one of this race later on, and I forgot what they're called. But I don't think it's the same chap. But he's a baddie in a future episode, or one of his races. Anyway, Kirk and Spock come back, and not everything's changed, but nobody recognises Spock, because for some reason history's changed somehow. So they've got to go back, and so Spock goes back. They find out that Spock died as a kid. Is he an Aurelian? Oh, I can't bloody remember. Spock died, so he's got to go back through the Guardian of Forever. It's supposed to be the same race as Chakotay's first officer from Really? Oh, right. Okay. Didn't look much like him, did they? Not that I remember, not that I recall, but anyway. Right, where were we? Speaking of Chakotay, the second to last episode, I was thinking, is that one of Chakotay's ancestors? Never mind, we'll see when we get there. So Spock goes back. That's the new first officer. When they came back, the Enterprise had a new first officer. It's supposed to be an Andorian, but looks more like a Enad, doesn't it? But never mind. They probably just got the colours wrong. So they can't have a blue shirt and a blue skin as well, can they? Anyway, so off Spock goes back into the past to correct everything. So there he goes. We see Spock being bullied by Vulcan children. Spock is a kid, by the way. And he goes back and he claims he's called Selleck because he's just lying. I thought Vulcans didn't lie. I mean, Selleck's saying it's somebody else is just a blatant lie, not an exaggeration, is it? But anyway. And in the history that had changed, Spock had gone out to do his Kazwan ritual, whatever, way to survive in the Vulcan Forge or whatever, and he got killed in the alternate future. So he's got to go back and save himself. So that's what he's going to do. There we go. And Spock's pet Saylat, Ichaya, follows him. There he is, and saves young Spock from one of them. There we go. He's going to show it. Probably not. Oh, for Pete's sake. Gone too far. From it. Then one of them, which I forgot what they're called. Anyway. Windrush has heard somewhere that the lead animator in this show was colourblind, which is why all the colours are weird and off. All right. Well, at least he's got the uniforms. Right, red, gold, and blue. But anyway, somebody must have pointed him in the right direction. Does it say in here? Let me just check, because I forgot what the bloody call that creature. Lemachia, a Lemachia, that's what it is. That attacks him, and Ichaya fights it off, but gets raked by the Lemachia's poisonous claws and may die. So our Spock remains with Ichaya, the Saylat. Young Spock, if we can, for Pete's sake, never lands on the bit that you want it to. Young Spock heads back into town, or whatever, to find a healer. What did you say, vet? But anyway, so that's what he's going to do. So that's what he does there. He's pleading to the healer to come and help. You are Spock. You are known for practical jokes. But anyway, it turns out the healer couldn't save Ichaya, and Ichaya dies. I'm probably mispronouncing it. As it Ichaya, whatever. And it dies. But Spock lived, which is the main thing. So grown-up Spock goes back to the future. Doesn't hit 88 miles an hour, but manages it. And everything's put back to normal. But it can't be, can it? Because he said, originally, Ichaya, whatever it's called, the Saylat, didn't die. And then Kirk just says, well, it's only a pet. I'm sure it'll be fine. But it means he's gone to an alternate future again. So if this is in the Prime Universe, it means it's changed, doesn't it? All for a pet Saylat that died. But, something has changed. But anyway, or in the words of Homer Simpson, yeah, close enough. But anyway, so there we go. So everything's back to normal, apart from his pet died, which didn't before, but never mind. Cool episode. It's a good episode. Is Yesteryear. Right, what's next up? Next episode is One of Our Planets is Missing. Hey, which is this one? Oh, it's one with Bob Wesley, Starfleet officer Bob Wesley, who was in The Ultimate Computer. Originally, he didn't have fish in his pond, yes. That fountain that we saw. Oh, dear. Right. Hang on, where are we? Bear with me. Starring the voices of... What are you going to show us? Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. One of Our Planets is Missing. Written by Mark Daniels. I think Mark Daniels had written... I think most of the writers of the animated series had written episodes for the original series. I'm sure they had, because that name rings a bell. Or were he a director? I've seen it in the original series anyway. Right, what happens in this one? Because I can't bloody remember. Tell you, I'm pigging hopeless. Let's have a read. If it rings a bell. I've seen, this series multiple times, but a blank. As soon as I turn the camera on and start streaming, my mind just goes to mush and a blank. Right, which one is it? Right, oh, yes, it's the one with the big cloud. It's Vija, except it's not. Right, so Bob Wesley's the governor or whatever of this planet, and a big cloud is headed towards it. They found some other planets that have been destroyed, and it's this big cloud that's destroying them. Hang on, if I can find a picture of it. Come on, Netflix, bloody hell. Is it going to show it? We can't stop it. Millions of people will die. Jam. Oh, whatever. Right, so I wonder what music's playing. Just a minute.
How much time do they have?
No, it's not playing the music I like. It's got its version of in the animated series is do 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 dun. If we can find it. Here we go. Not that. Anyway, there's the cloud it's headed towards. And it turns out it's intelligent, it's alive, and they persuade it not to kill any more planets. Because it doesn't see the things that are living on the planet as life forms. It doesn't understand that they've got a right to live. It thinks it's just consuming raw materials. So they basically persuade it to go back out of the galaxy because it came from beyond the galaxy. So that's what happens. And obviously they save the planet and everything's hunky-dory. But not before they have an adventure inside it, and it's they say it's like it's got a brain and it's got digestive bits and all that stuff. So it's like a mashup between Star Trek and Fantastic Voyage and all that stuff, and it's fine. But anyway, so there we go. Oh, I forgot about that. Spock were reaching out to its mind. I am Spock. I am alive. And it's like, oh, you're not alive. Because it's a female voice as well. Probably voiced by Majel Barrett. See if we can hear.
This is someone else. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen to me. Right, here she goes.
What? You?
Yeah, that's Majel Barrett, isn't it? Anyway, right, so they talk it into, buggering off. So there we go. So a nice happy ending for that one, apart from all the other planets that it's eaten. But, less we think about that, the better. Right, what's next? See if I can remember this bugger. Next up, the Lorelei signal. This is, well-trod sci-fi fodder. Here it is. Hang on. We can land on the title. Can't never land on the bloody title screen, do I? There you go, the Lorelei signal. Written by Margaret Harmon. And it's all about women being in charge. Because they get drawn to this planet. And all the men on the planet all go Googa because of the women there. So it ends up Uhura and Nurse Chapel. And some of the other women who are just voiced by Nichelle Nichols and Majel Barrett. They have to save the day. But there we go. All the blokes, look, they're all... Don't know why Sulu, it shouldn't affect him, should it? Oh my! But anyway, even Spock's affected. Anyway, so the beam down to this planet. There we go. They're all sexy women, sexy cartoon women. How dare you disrespect Maress? Well, I don't know if she's in this one, is she? Can't remember. Do we see her? Let's have a look. See if we see Maress. I don't think we do we? In this one, could be wrong. Could be wrong. Anyway, so basically they drain the life out of the blokes, that the Spock and Kirk and McCoy and I think somebody else, but I can't remember who. And they start draining the life out of them because that's what they do. The lure men, the sirens basically, aren't they? Is it Scotty? They lure them to this planet, and then no, it's not Scotty. I don't know who it was then. Probably some red shirt. And anyway, Uhura and that take command of the Enterprise and deal with it, but not before they've got the beam down. Look, and take charge. Look, being angry now. Look, but they manage to escape and they hide in a big vase or vase. But then it starts raining, they might drown. But they save them just in time. There's Uhura threatening people with a phaser, although it's not really pointed at her, is it? Maybe it's pointed at somebody else. But they get them out, and I think they use the transporter, which they do several times in the animated series. They use the transporter to fix everything. I think that's what they do. I could be wrong. There you go. They beam down, and they're old, and then they beam them back up, and they're young again. But whatever. Yeah, it's not the best episode, to be completely honest. Is Lorelei signal, a Lorelei signal. Oh, we're off to the next episode. Is that gonna go? Right, off we go. Yeah, it's not the best, but whatever. They can't all be good, can they? Wiggler says, that's my idea for Strange New World. Susie Plaxon as Maress and Doug Jones as Arex for one episode, and they get shifted off to the night shift, never to be seen again until the animated series. Yeah, that'd be cool, would that, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. They won't, though. They won't. They should, but they won't. Anyway, next up. Yes, it is. I've picked the right one. More Tribbles, more Troubles. Because it's got Cyrano Jones in it, and I don't like Cyrano. I don't like Harry Mudd, and I don't like Cyrano Jones. I'm going to land on the title screen. Oh, for Pete's sake! There we go. Written by David Gerald, who wrote the original Trouble with Tribbles episode. Who wrote the Trials and Tribulations? Was that David Gerald as well, or did they get somebody else in? I've no idea. I haven't checked. Never thought about it. Anyway, they're going back to thingamabob. It's more grain that they're escorting, but it's not quadratriticale. It's something else, like quintatriticale or something like that. Hang on just a minute. It says it here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Quinto Triti, but he pronounces it Carly in this, not Cayley, like they did in the original series.
Quinto Triticale.
There you go. But it was I forgot what the bloody called it now. Whatever. In the quadratriticale, they pronounce it quadratriticale. Oh, whatever. But anyway. According to the internet, story about Ira Stephen Bear. All right, the thing. So they didn't get David Gerald back in. Is he still alive? I've no idea. But anyway, was he back then? Anyway, so they're escorting these grain ships, which look kind of cool, I must admit. And they've got different registry numbers. Is this because the grain ships? They've got a G before the number, and there's another one later on, the USS Huron, I think it is, which I think is a freighter, and that's got an F, so it's NCCF, and then 4 numbers. So never saw that again, did we? But anyway, Klingons arrive, and they're attacking this ship, and Cyrano Jones is on it. The ship gets destroyed. And the beam Cyrano Jones on board. He's got Tribbles with him. And I think this is... Oh, I'm saying Yuppie's still alive. 80 years, bless him. David Gerald. It's supposed to be... I forgot which one it was now. In Trouble with Tribbles. I think it's supposed to be him. I think it's supposed to be the William Campbell Klingon. I can never remember. Is he Kor? Or is he Koloff? I can never bloody remember. I think it's supposed to be that one. But obviously, I think he's voiced by James Doohan. Let's have a listen.
Captain Kirk? It will work.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Somebody's bloody landed a bit where he's just not speaking.
You're going to give me one chance?
Yeah, that's James Doohan, isn't it? Anyway, so he's got these tribbles, but apparently they can't breed, but they can eat. So instead of just breeding all over, they eat all the grain and stuff, and we end up with a giant tribble that if you shoot it, it turns into, it's a colony of tribbles. I don't know how to work it, but it's also got a tribble predator. There it is, which looks bloody stupid. If we land on it, there we go. And it shows. Oh, Pete's sake! And it eats. It's a tribble predator, and he's stolen it from the Klingons. So that's what they're after him for. So anyway, so there we go. More fun and shenanigans with the Klingons, and tribbles eating all the grain. And turn into a giant tribble, and I think they do again the same thing again what they did in Trouble with Tribbles. I think they just beam the tribbles over to the Klingon ship. There we go. Hang on, it's going to show it now. Look, here it comes. In a minute. I'm sure I saw it then. Oh, for Pete's sake. Anyway, that's what they do. They beam it over. There'll be no tribble at all. This is a crap episode. I don't like it. But the beam over the tribble predator, and it sees the giant one. I don't think they realise if they shoot it, it'll just turn into loads of little tribbles. And the hang on in a minute. And the giant the tribble predator just runs off. It sees there we go. It sees the giant tribble and just runs away. And that's when they shoot it, and there we go. It turns into lots of little tribbles. But luckily they don't breed because they're genetically engineered. They just eat. Whatever. I suppose it's fine. Again, I've said that a lot. It's fine. It's a cartoon. I can expect. But whatever. What's next? The Survivor. Oh, why this one? This is one that's got aliens. The next one's got aliens that we meet again a couple of times. Well, I think more than a couple of times in Lower Decks. So off we go. The next one is The Survivor with Carter Winston. Anyway, so here we go. Who wrote this one? James Schmerer. That's a name and a half, isn't it? Right, so here we go. It's Carter Winston, who looks like he's, I don't know, from a Jules Verne novel or something. But he was the fiancé of some woman on the ship. But he didn't want anything to do with her because he disappeared 5 years earlier, and he was super rich even though they don't use money. I think they hadn't decided that they don't use money in the 23rd century in this, but he was super rich, but used his wealth to help people. But he don't want anything to do with his fiancée. There she is, saying, move on. I've been gone for 5 years. Why aren't you married or whatever? And she's like, oh, no. But then it turns out, there we go, he's one of these alien, a Vendorian, is it Vendorian? Windgrace will set me right. That we've seen in Lower Decks, shape-shifting alien, there he is. That's being used by, I think, the Romulans, to trick the Enterprise to I don't know, go into the neutral zone or whatever. But it turns out, he didn't realise. Oh, there's Maress. Look, there she is. I think she's voiced by Nichelle Nichols, I think. At least they didn't make it another long-lost fiancé of a main character. No, just a secondary character. Anyway, it ends up helping them, and so there we go, and it buggers off or whatever. I can't remember what happens, but it helps them. There we go. I think it's going to go off and Oh, there we go. Yeah, she's gonna go with him or something, or escort him to a star base. I think he's gonna go to. I think they're gonna take him to a star base, and he's gonna go on trial, but he's willing to do that or whatever. Um, but there we go. It's not a bad episode, to be completely honest. I quite like the Vendorians for some reason. Should have seen more of them. But anyway, so there we go. So that's the Survivor. Right, next up, what's next? This is the episode written by Walter Koenig. Because they didn't hire him because apparently they couldn't afford another person in the cast. So they thought we'll just buy a script off him. So he wrote The Infinite Vulcan. This is I don't. It's a bit daft, but it's not too bad. Isn't this another planet? You'll get the death penalty for visiting or something. Which one? The one we've just done, the Survivor, or the Infinite Vulcan? Hang on, where are we? Just bear with me. There we go. Written by Walter Koenig. It's where they go and they get to that planet and they're the Survivor. No, they were being tricked by the Romulans, weren't they? I can't remember, but they were being lured into doing something. But anyway, hang on. I will read out the synopsis. The Romulans are just trying to get the Enterprise into the neutral zone so they could declare war and all that stuff. But the Vendorian, using the Vendorian, its shape-shifting abilities to make that happen. But then obviously it changes itself into a deflector shield to save the Enterprise, doesn't it? So there we go. That's what happens. Anyway, right, The Infinite Vulcan, written by Walter Koenig. They go to this planet, and something happens. What happens here now? It touches a plant or something. Something's up with the plant life or something, and somebody gets hurt. There we go. It gets a thorn, and I think it just collapses, or something like that. Is it Sulu or whatever? Anyway, there he goes. Hang on, where is he? There he is. Legged out, not well. And then they come across the inhabitants who are plant-like people. There they are. And they're worshipping a fella from the eugenics wars. And for some reason he's massive. Don't really explain why he's massive. I've forgotten his name. Does it say here? Oh no, it's the planet's Retlaw. Oh no, they're called the Retlaw, the walking plants. But who did they find? I've forgotten his name. Bear with me. Kenicleus. Who thinks up these names? I don't know. But anyway, is it going to show him? In this hall here, and then creatures appear that they tend to reuse the sound effects for these quite a lot. There we hear that a lot. Oh, was that the music? That's my favourite music. Can't bloody hear it for them. Never mind. Anyway, Kenicleus appears. If I can bloody land on him. There he is. And for some reason he's massive, but I think he's the fifth one. So, and it was something to do with the eugenics wars on Earth, and he left Earth and went to this planet and basically cloned himself several times. So I think this is the fifth one. And for some reason he's massive. It might explain it. I can't really remember. But he decides he wants to use Spock. It's a bit like Spock's brain. You're going to take Spock's consciousness or something and put it into this giant Spock. Obviously, they can't let that happen. They want their proper Spock back. And then there were two Spocks, a regular Spock and a giant Spock. And then the giant Spock isn't a baddie, because you think he's going to be a baddie, controlled by Kenicleus. But That's not what happens. So, but I think Wingrace said once that do we see the skeleton of the giant Spock in Lower Decks? I think he said, but I can't remember that because you know what I'm like. But anyway, so there we go. Not the best episode. Sorry, Walter. But anyway, what can you do? I bet it's not easy writing an episode that's got to appeal to kids and adults as well. Oh, he's doing his mind meld here with his fingers, like going to squish his head with his finger. You're going to do it. Get on with it then. Oh, bloody don't then. Yes, we see it in a collection of tons of Easter eggs. So it didn't last, whatever. Something bad happened to him, it seems. Anyway, so there we go. So off they go to the next adventure. Anyway, so yeah, take it or leave it, that one. I suppose it's entertaining enough. I suppose. Right, what's next? Oh, the Magics of Megas 2. This is the one with the devil in it. Not Lucifer, Lucian they call him, don't they? The Magics. So they end up. This is the one where they go to the centre of the galaxy. Don't mention Shakari or anything. I think it's the centre of the galaxy. There we go. Written by Larry Brody, who I've never heard of. I think it's the centre of the galaxy. Let's just check. So scientists have theorised. Let's have a read. If our galaxy was created from a great explosion, was it? Weird science going on there, isn't there? Are they on about the Big Bang? I think they might be on about the Big Bang, the universe in general. So they're going to go to the centre of the galaxy and see matter being created. I love the scene of Spock drawing a pentagram and learning magic. Yes, that is this one, isn't it? They're going to the centre of the galaxy and no Shakari. Or God, for that matter. But we do see the devil. This is where the devil's at the centre of the galaxy. Even though he's a goodie. But, is that what they're trying to say? Is this, is Larry Brody a diabolist? Anyway. So, they go there, and obviously the, laws of physics don't matter. And here he appears, look. There's the Lucian, who's like the devil. I don't know his voice by. Probably James Doohan. Let's have a listen. When he's ready. Oh, just speak, will you?
Of course, friend, of course.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is, isn't it? So, he takes them to their planet. Oh, yes, and they all go wibbly wobbly and strange because, as I said, the laws of physics don't apply. So Lucian uses his magic to make them appear normal. I don't know, a bit overcomplicated. Anyway, so they arrive on this planet where everything's magical, but then it ends up being like Salem for some weird reason. And they all get magical powers as well. And is that supposed to be bones? But with different. Couldn't they be bothered designing a new character and just? I don't know. Confused now. I'm going to go back again and see what happened there. Oh, it's supposed to be Kirk, and it just went wrong. They picked the wrong character. Thought we can't change it. Just colour it differently. The music's playing. Have a listen. Never mind. I think that was supposed to be Kirk, wasn't it? But they just got it wrong. Which happens quite a bit. Never fear. Matt is here. Harbour out already. What? Oh dear. I think Josh has been at the hooch. I'm going to be kind of lurking as I'm driving around doing errands. Hope you're all having a good day. Yes, we are. I'm trying to remember to these Star Trek animated series episodes. I'm not doing a good job of it. He went on to form an alliance. See, that's something. Talk to text sucks while driving. Anyway. Right, so they end up in Salem. Look, they all end up in the stocks because they're going to go on trial, and Lucian's going to go on trial and all that stuff. But they end up using their magic to get out of it, and they go back. None the worse for wear. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of skip to the next episode. I don't mind that episode because it's kind of funky, but. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. Dear. There we go. Once upon, which is this one? One of our planets is missing, and Once Upon a Planet, I can never bloody remember. All right, so the Shore Leave sequel. Right, this is the Shore Leave. Oh, our Lucian Alliance. All right, okay. Yeah. It went over my head. And they said he was the devil, didn't they, in that one? Lucifer, Lucian, and all that stuff. But he was a goodie. Right, Once Upon a Planet. Right, this is the go back to the Shore Leave planet because they all want shore leave, but when they get there, everything's going wrong, and the fella that ran it has died or something, and the computer's taken over, another supercomputer, and it's trying to kill them all for some bizarre reason. So it's sending monsters at them and robots and stuff like that. And they've got to... Basically, they talk it into being nice again, basically. Oh, there's Lieutenant Eric's. Yeah, they talk it into being nice and, cool. Yeah, whatever. There it is. They've got Cylon base stars from the Battlestar Galactica remaster. Look, not remaster, reboot. Anyway, yeah. So everything's fine by the end. There we go. The talk. That's the computer. The talking to. There we go. You'll have marvelous capability to provide happiness for others. And he goes, yeah, don't I? Whatever. I'll become good again. This episode got them fed up and everyone went off to Riser forevermore. Yes, looks like it, doesn't it? I hate that Riser were in Enterprise. I do. Because you got the impression that in Next Generation, when they first went to Riser, that was the first time anybody had been there. But they had it in Enterprise. Anyway, so... They all get the shore leave. They start beaming the crew down, and everything's lovely. And they all could just sit on the grass and, I don't know, watch Lewis Carroll characters run about. I don't know, but it looks like a crap place to me. But anyway, there we go. So that's Once Upon a Planet, the sequel to Shore Leave. So there we go. It's all right. But it's another computer that needs a good stiff talking to. But anyway, so moving on. What are we up to? We're up to episode 10 next. Mudd's Passion. Bloody Harry Mudd again. It is a sequel to I, Mudd, and it does explain how he escaped. Because remember when we last saw it, Harry Mudd, he was trapped on the planet with all the robots, all the androids. They left him there, didn't they? And it does mention it. Temporal War, Romulans introduced humans to Riser early to turn us into degenerates and weakeners. Alright, fair enough. Luckily, they reset everything, didn't they, at the beginning of season 4 in Enterprise. Right, next episode. Right, here we go. Harry Mudd, Mudd's Passion. Skip intro. There we go. Who wrote this bugger? Stephen Candell. Right, so they come across Harry Mudd again. There he is. I don't think they got the fella that voiced him. I don't know. Let's have a look. Where are we? Mudd's Passion. I doubt they got the actor in that played him. Oh, yes, it does. Yes, Roger C. Carmel voicing an uncredited reprise of his live-action role as Harry Mudd. So there we go. So they couldn't get bloody Walter Koenig in to play Chekhov. But they got him in. I know it's only for one episode to play Harry Mudd. So there we go. I'd have thought they just said, James Doohan, do Harry Mudd. I think Mudd and Sarek did come back. Oh, yes, because we meet Sarek, don't we? In the animated series. So, yes, we will have Mark Lenard as well. Anyway, right, he's got crystals that are like a love potion. And if you break them, people fall in love with you. But we learn by the end, it doesn't last. Anyway, they're arresting him. He escaped from the robot planet. He stole a ship or something. They don't really go into much detail, but he escaped. They arrest him, but he escapes using his crystals and stuff. He uses Christine Chappell's love for Spock. He gives her one of the crystals and tells her, Spock will fall in love with you, and basically, appeals to her womanliness. So she takes it, and somehow he escapes, and she uses it on Spock, and it works eventually. She thinks it hasn't worked, but it does work eventually. So we get Leonard Nimoy giving it, "Oh, lovely Christine," and all that stuff. But anyway. Harry Mudd escapes from the Enterprise. There we go, he's taking Christine with him because she goes to deal with it. And he steals a shuttle and sees Spock's angry because he's got to save lovely Christine. Is that what he's saying? Let's have a listen.
Hurry, if he's harmed one hair on her pretty head.
Jim, the search party's found this in the shuttlecraft bay. It's crystals, look. Yes, and they'd got dropped, and some of them broke, and they went into the ventilation system. So all the crew's falling in love with each other. So they're probably all shagging like rabbits. Anyway, right, so they're on that planet. What happens? I can't remember. Look, a big monster. One thing about the animated series, you could have weird and wonderful monsters in it, couldn't you? That you couldn't have in the actual series. The best they got were a Muguto. Yes, the naked Mudd, because they're all at it, fully functional. Anyway, they capture him, and we find out that the effects of the crystal, the love potion, wears off, and end up hating each other afterwards for a while. It's not going to make him rich. Anyway, so there we go. It's okay. I don't mind. I'm not a fan of Harry Mudd and Cyrano Jones. These shysters. But that episode's not too bad, to be completely honest. It's fun. Right, what's next? Dear. Just a minute. I need another drink of water. The Terratin incident. Oh, this is one. Something to do with Earth, innit? That's where Terra. I forgot what bloody happened. It's ringing a bell. Yes, this is the one. I don't know. I think Quark would love to sell these as 1 hour lust. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because as long as you don't come across them again, you can do the deed, and then part ways. Hate each other, but you're not near each other, are you? Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Anyway, right. So, where were we? Terratin incident. Oh, that's next. So moving on. Right, skip intro. There we go. Written by Paul Schneider. Let's make sure we're still going. Yeah. I forgot to check. I forgot to mention, by the way, we're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble, I hope. I hope it comes on. And we're live on Twitch as well. I forgot to mention that earlier on, didn't I? I hope we're live on Rumble. Come on, Rumble, catch up. Are we? Yes, we're live on Rumble. Crikey, I thought it wasn't working then. Pardon me. Right. Territed incident. What happens with this one? They receive a distress call and they go to this planet. Another teeny tiny. Is it this one? I can't remember. Let me just check. Can't remember. Just bear with me. Enterprise enters orbit, hit by energy beam. Oh, that's what we're looking at there. Damages the dilithium crystals. Yes, and the crew starts to shrink. Yes, at first I think the Enterprise is growing, but the crew starts shrinking. There we go. And so they go down to the planet, and they all have fun and games. Oh, aye. Christine Chapel falls into a fish tank because she's stupid. I don't know why she falls into it, but she bloody does. How does she get up there anyway? Look, I'm trying to find the bit where she falls in. She got to get the microscope laser. There you go. Up there she goes to get it. And then for some reason, there you go. She just falls in there. I'm trying to see why. Why does she fall in there? Because she's a woman. That's basically because it's Star Trek, isn't it? From the 60s and 70s. There you go. She's getting the laser, the microscope laser, whatever. Oh, why she trips up over that? She's not looking where she's going, silly cow. That's how she ends up in the fish tank. Anyway, they save her, don't worry. Oh, and it's really annoying because she's just going, help, help. And it's like they're just playing the same loop of help over and over again. See if she's doing it.
Help! Help!
Just that over and over. It was doing my thing. It's like grating. Help! Help! Anyway, the save. Right, so something to do with the planet. Can't bloody remember. Spock makes a little communicator. The beam down to the planet. I think that makes him big again. I think. So his little communicator that Spock made for him is now teeny tiny in his hand. So I think it's another one with the transporters, I think. Yeah, the transporter. So what's happened is the space between their atoms has shrunk. So they still weigh as much. A bit like Ant-Man. But the space between the atoms has shrunk. But using the transporter fixes it. I think they find out, there we go, that these people here, the Terratin, they're an old Earth colony, and they called the planet that they found Terra 10. Get it? Earth 10, whatever. Yes, like a broken video game NPC. Help! Help! Just repeat it, doing me head in. They find them, and I can't remember what they do with them. Do they save them or they just leave them there? I can't remember. Let me check. I've forgotten. They can't be restored to normal size because they're the ancestors. They're genetically that size because they're the descendants of the original people. Yes, so they beam the whole city that they live in onto the Enterprise and take it somewhere else. That's what they do. So there we go. So that's that one. There we go. They're looking through a big machine at it. So they take it to a planet where they'll be safe, and they're all just stood there looking at him. Whatever. It's okay. It's it's a bit of fun, innit? It's Gulliver's Travels, innit? And stuff like that, It's variations on the theme, etc. But there we go. Yeah. They scoop them up and have a bottle city of Candor on the ship forever. Should have done, shouldn't they? That's what they should have done. Oh dear. Right, what's next? Which is the next episode? Time Trap now, which is this one. Is this the one that I think inspired Voyager Elite Force, the game? Time Trap. Anyway, we'll see. See if you agree. Right, so next episode. Skip intro. Written by Joyce Perry. Right, so I nearly bloody did the thing then. Right, so they're in this weird area of space. I think it's like the Bermuda Triangle where starships have disappeared and they can't explain it. So they go there, but they get attacked by Klingons. Dun, dun, dun. In a minute, probably. Anyway, weird stuff happens. Is this the Klingons attacking?
Returned fire. The Klothos deflectors turned us.
Oh, the Klothos. I think that is mentioned again in Deep Space Nine, isn't it? I think. Is it Kor's ship? Can't remember. Hang on, where are we? Is it Kor? Just bear with me. It doesn't bloody say, tell you. Anyway, never mind. Right, anyway, they end up going through like a rift or something like that, and they end up in another dimension. Hang on, where are we? If it'll land on it, for Christ's sake. There we go. Where there's lots of starships of different races and varieties and stuff like that, in like, a spaceship graveyard. And I immediately thought of Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, the game, because that's kind of what happens to them, isn't it, in Voyager. Elite Force, should I say. But anyway. And there we go, there's the Klingon ship is there as well. And the essentially there we go, they come across the survivors of all those ships. They've formed an alliance of all the races. There, look, you've even got a Gorn and a Vulcan and a Tellarite and whatever she is, human, I don't know. They've got to decide what to do, with them. There's some psychic woman as well who does weird stuff. Earlier, he's going to show us. And I can't remember what she does, but she goes and has weird psychic things. Anyway, I think they want to stop the Enterprise and the Klingons. I think the Klingons just want to kill everybody, don't they? Because the Klingons, and the Enterprise wants to find a way to get back, but to act to their own universe. But the people that live there don't want them to, or whatever. But they do. And no, she does a little, because she's a Ryan, so she's got to do a bit of a dance. That's the end of it. We don't see the dance, we just see that at the end of it. And they go, "Oh, thank you for that lovely dance."
Beautifully done.
There you go. But I think it's Nichelle Nichols, isn't it?
Thank you, Captain.
Yes, it is, yes. And we know she can dance because Nichelle Nichols, because we saw it in Star Trek 5, didn't we? But anyway. The upshot of it is, they get back, and I think they get the Klingons back as well, I think. Yes, they do. Yes, because they join forces, that's it. They join forces, because each ship by itself isn't powerful enough to get through the dimensional whatever. And so they've got to join forces. But obviously the Klingons are going to... They sabotage the Enterprise or something along those lines, so that when the Enterprise, then they disengage when they get back, to our universe, they're going to blow up or whatever. But obviously they stop that, and everything's lovely. So there we go. It's fine. Time Trap. It's a fine episode. It's okay. Anyway, beautifully done. We couldn't afford the animation to show it, pretty much. Maybe they didn't want little kids to be seeing an Orion slave girl gyrating about the screen. But anyway, Time Trap. It's okay. It's a good episode. Don't mind. As I said, it reminded me of Star Trek Voyager Elite Force and that area of space that the trap were called the Delta Triangle. So it could be like the Delta Quadrant, couldn't it? But anyway. So yeah. That one's a cool episode. Next up is the ambergris element, which I don't know. I didn't like this episode for some bizarre reason, but I don't know why. My attention kept drifting from it for some reason. Anyway, they're on a planet, but we do see like a shuttle submarine or something. They've got a shuttle on the Enterprise that can lands on water. And I think it can go underwater as well. So they're checking this planet, and I can't remember why. Why are they checking this planet? I can't remember. Just let me check. I've forgotten. Is it something to do with dilithium or something? I can't remember. This planet's been transformed into a water planet by seismic disturbances. Is that possible? Unless there are loads of water underneath the crust. But anyway, whatever. Yes, they got the Aqua Shuttle, that's it. And they come across sea monsters and stuff like that. And then they find the inhabitants of the name of the planet. I can't remember the name of the bloody planet. Hang on, let me check. Planet Argo on Stardate 5499.9. By the way, the Stardates are not all over the place for this, but a couple of times they are. Generally, they're going in sequence up to, they're starting like 5, and by the final episodes they're up to 6, but there's a couple of episodes where there's one that Stardate 3 or something or other. There's one that's just like it says something like 52.9 or something like that in one of the episodes, but I can't remember which one. But anyway, what was I saying? I can't remember. They come across the inhabitants. They survive an attack by a monster barely. Hang on, here it goes. Is it going to get them? It's going to smash up the Aqua Shuttle. That's what it's going to do. There we go. Is that Scotty? Maybe, and McCoy. They get thrown out or something. But the shuttle is done for. And Scotty comes down in another shuttle. And they find the wreckage. There it is. Look, cool. And blur into focus. Anyway, and we find that Kirk and Spock, they can't breathe anymore. They find they're there. They can't breathe, and they've been changed so that they become water breathers. So they take them back to the Enterprise and stick them in a fish tank, essentially. So they're breathing water, and it turns out they've been changed by some of the young people of the inhabitants of Argo. There they are. To save their lives. I don't know. I don't know why that saved their lives. If they saved their lives, why did they leave them out on the beach? I don't know. But anyway. So they go back. They've got to find a way to reverse it. If it were them that did it, they can reverse it. And, fun and games happens. I think there's some baddie people. They don't like surface dwellers, obviously. It's a bit like Little Mermaid, I suppose. But anyway, they were distrustful of surface dwellers because the surface dwellers, before the water rose, tried to kill them all and stuff like that. So, but then they all died out. So anyway, they put them back to normal, and they use the phasers to a big a big earthquake is going to happen. Which will destroy the cities of the people that live under the sea. And they use the phasers to redirect the epicenter. So that's what they do. And it saves them, and it also uncovers some of the old surface cities, and I don't know. So there we go. So it gives them something to do. The aliens that live there. They decide the young ones are going to explore that area or whatever. I don't know. I don't like this episode. I just don't. What can I say? As I said, it seemed even though they're only like 20 odd minutes, I was bored. And I didn't like it, and I don't know why. I bet it's Windgrace's favourite episode. Now I've said that, but anyway. So moving on. What we up to next? The Slaver Weapon. This one's written by Larry Niven, based on his short story. Right, so this is where we meet the Kzinti. Not the Zincathi or Zinkethi, the Kzinti. were rubbish. They are. But anyway, here we go. Skip intro. Here we go. Right. There you go. Written by Larry Niven. I've got a book by Larry Niven, and I forgot what it's called. I've read it, though. That's from his short story, The Soft Weapon. So, it's got, like, magic boxes. Stasis boxes that are, like, billions of years old or something. And, they pop up every now and again. They're from a race called the Slavers. Does it tell us the name, or they're just called the Slavers? Let me just check. In the plot. Yeah, just from the slaver culture. So they've got this stasis box that's being found, and they've got to be opened by like experts, because whenever they find a stasis box, you never know what's going to be in it. And one time there was a bomb that had its pin pulled. Because bombs have pins, grenades have pins, I don't know, bombs have. But anyway, and they opened it, and obviously the bomb must have gone off. So they've got to be handled carefully, because they don't know, they never know what's going to be in a stasis box, a slaver stasis box. So they're delivering it somewhere. So they're in a shuttle. Here they are. Look, with the Uhura and Sulu. And it starts glowing in a, there we go, just like that, and then glowing in a way that it's like it's pointing to something. So they decided another stasis box, because the only detector of a stasis box is another stasis box. So they end up on this icy world. They have a lot of weird shuttle designs in the animated series, and I don't think they ever went with the classic design we saw from the actual series. I think all the shuttles are just weird looking, and I don't know why. But anyway, where were we? So they're going to this other planet to find this. There we go. I think it's on this icy world, but it's all a ruse, and they get captured by the Kazinti, who also had a stasis box, but apparently were empty. But they used it to lure them there so they could steal their stasis box. So they get captured. There's the Kazinti ship. Is it going to show us them? Here they come, the Kazinti. They're all angry looking, apart from this one who's a Kazinti psychic. He can read your mind, but it makes him all that paranoid and stuff like that. But the Kazinti are rubbish anyway, because they won't talk to women, because female Kazintis are just mindless animals, according to Spock. And they won't talk to Spock because he's vegetarian. And they don't talk to people who are vegetarians, so they'll only talk to Zulu. It's mental. It's mental. Anyway, so basically they're being trapped. They're caught in a police web. Their ship, by the way, is a police ship that they've stolen, but they're not supposed to be allowed any weapons because of the Earth Kazinti War, or the Federation Kazinti War from 200 years ago, which would take it into this century. So, but anyway, whatever. Anyway, fun and hijinks ensue. They escape a couple of times. They open the box, and the thing that's in it is this machine, device, whatever, that can change its form and do various stuff, from like things that don't seem to do anything to basically a nuclear beam weapon or something. But anyway, obviously they outsmart the Kazinti, who are rubbish, and get the stasis. Well, I think they get the device to destroy itself or something. There it is. Because somehow it can talk as well. But anyway, I'm sure Larry Niven's book was better than this episode, because this episode wasn't that good, to be completely honest. Yes, it blows up, kills the Kazinti at the end, blows their ship up and everything. And they think, fine, let's carry on. I'll go back to the Enterprise. We've failed because we've lost the slaver weapon or the stasis box. But anyway, never mind. Yeah, it's not the best. I'm sure Larry Niven's book were better. What was the name of his book that I've got now? I can see a cover of it in my mind's eye and I can't remember the title. Never mind. Never mind. Right, so what's next? What's the next episode? We're nearly at the end of season 1 already. Eye of the Beholder. This one is... I can't remember. Oh dear, you know what I'm like. What happens in this one? Gone to Lactra 7. For some reason, I was just no, it wasn't Ring World. No, it wasn't that one. I can't remember what it was called now. It was good story though. Anyway, right, next up, Eye of the Beholder. Skip intro. There it is, written by David P. Harmon. Right, what they're doing. Orbiting the planet Lactra 7. Yeah, I think a science team or something's gone missing or whatever. So they're going to beam down and see what's going on. But then I think weird stuff starts happening. I can't remember what. Oh dear. They get... Yes. They use the communicator, they pick up a signal or whatever, so they follow it, and they find the crew, not the crew, the science team, but what else has happened? I've forgotten. There's something else going on, and I can't remember what it is. Yes, the planet is weird, because there's like a desert, and then a jungle, and then, it's like the Genesis planet, all the different types of landscape are within a few, miles walk of each other. So is it artificial? Is there some monster here coming? They're useless. The weapons don't work. They look like the dragons on Maravel. There we go. I think it's got the same sound effects as all the other flying creatures that they have. See, told you. I'm going to have to look up that Larry Niven book. It's tasking me. Larry Niven. Bibliography. That's a word and a half, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Protector. It's that one, I think. Is it Protector? Let me just check again. For the other stuff. I think it's Protector. I think it is. Oh, I don't know though. Might not be. What is it? No, I think it is Protector, but that's a different cover to the one on Wikipedia, the one I've got. But never mind. We're live, I don't care. Larry Niven Protector. Yes, that's the cover. That's the cover I've got. Yes, it was Protector I've read. Right. Where were we? Not just sound effects, it's literally the same art on a different background this time too. I said they reuse a lot of stuff, don't they? To save money. Oh dear. Anyway, how's that gone to black? Right. So, what happens next? Right, here, they find that weird city. They find the inhabitants, and obviously something's going on. I can't bloody remember. I'm pigging hopeless. So all to do with mental images and stuff like that. That's why it's called Eye of the Beholder, but I can't remember the details. Did I watch this one? Because I'm reading the synopsis here, the plot on Wikipedia. I can't really remember any of it. Anyway, whatever. What was that? What was that that I just read? Oh, right. Where are they? There's lactrons. Oh, there they are. There they are. Yes, yes. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me. The lactrons, which are weird creatures that I'm not landing on for some bloody weird reason. There they are. Oh, I'll tell you. There they are. They're the lactrons, which kind of remind me of that little creature that Zorg had on his desk in The Fifth Element, except a different colour. Kind of reminds me of that. The super psychic. But one of their kids is missing. Somehow it's ended up on the Enterprise, and I can't remember how. But Scotty's looking after it, and they send it back down, and everything's fine. But they're using their psychic powers basically to torture Kirk. I think to find out what's happened to their kid. Obviously, he doesn't know. But anyway, Scotty beams down with the young Lactron, and everything's fine. And they go on their way with the science team. They found them again, and off they go. I'd say we've learned to keep our hands off. Oh, I think the Lactrons say, come back in 1,000,000 years or whatever when you've evolved, or something along them lines, yeah. Yeah, whatever. Not my favourite episode, as you can tell, because I can't remember bugger all about it. But another one that I think I might have slept through it, actually, because I was watching some, and I did actually nod off. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. But anyway, that's Eye of the Behold. Hey, what's next? The last episode of season 1 is The Jihad. Which one's this? I should remember this, shouldn't I, for crying out loud. This is the one with the Scar, Prince of the Scar. That's the Birdman that we saw in the second episode. So, right, off we go. Here we go, Jihad. Hang on, skip intro. Who wrote this? Stephen Candell again. There's no better feeling than nodding off to Star Trek. Well, maybe one or two. Yeah, well, that's what Star Trek's for, isn't it? It's a warm blanket, is Star Trek, isn't it? Anyway, but not when I'm supposed to be paying attention. That's not good, is it? Anyway. What we're saying? Oh, I have the Jihad, right? So, the Enterprise is going to this planet. Hang on, what does it have a name? The Vidala asteroid, stardate 5683.1. Where there's all these different weird ships because the people from other races have been summoned there by one of the oldest races in the galaxy or something. But it says, hang on, it says here, but I can't remember who they are. The Vidala are the oldest spacefaring race we know, so they're like the Minbari of this episode. Anyway, they've summoned them and other people there because a religious artifact has been stolen, so they're going to beam down. And here we go. There's the Scar fella. Is it T'Challa? I can't remember. T'Challa. There he is. That's him. And there's a lizard fella called Sword. Is it? Yes. An insectoid there who's got lots of not insects because he's got loads of limbs, but an invertebrate, we'll say. Oh, he probably does have a backbone. Called EM3 Green. Is that just the literal translation of his name? Don't know. But he's a thief, apparently. This is the Vidalan, who are a bit like the what we saw earlier on, the Kazinti. A bit like them, but a different colour. But it's obviously just basic body shape. I think they changed the tails and the colour and that. And there's who I think is just a human, but she's like a huntress called Lara. But anyway. So they're all there. They've got to find this stolen religious artifact. So that's what they're there for. But it turns out it were him to start with. He wanted to steal it and start a jihad, a holy war, to to get his people back to prominence or something. Yeah, because there used to be warriors, and then they stopped being warriors and became civilized, and now he wants to become warriors again. So that's what happens in this. But the bombing about in this rubbish, something that Mattel should make, this vehicle that they're running about in, but it's all rain and volcanoes and all sorts of stuff going on. They're not watching where they're driving. It keeps breaking down. Are they Orions? We see them in a bit, don't we? The Orions. Anyway, so that's it. They've got lots of adventures with lava and the thing breaking down, and then they've got to stop lava with boulders, and then the lava gets through and all that stuff. Anyway, that's it. The upshot is it's all him. And somehow he can hover. It must be like a kestrel, because we see him hovering in a bit. But it was him all along, and I don't know if they find the religious artifact. I can't remember. But anyway, they end up back with the Vidalans. They put Scott in a case. Is he going to show it? In a glass case. There he is. I don't know, but he'll go to trial. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, there we go. And then everybody goes home, and a happy ending. That's how every episode ends. Yes, a glass case of emotion, drinking milk on a hot day. So there we go. That's Jihad. Yeah, whatever. Not the best. It's not the best episode. But it passed the time, and they drove about in a rubbish yet cool vehicle that they just kept crashing for some reason because they weren't watching where they were going. But anyway, then now we're on season 2. There's only 6 episodes in season 2. Why? Don't know. So episode 1 of season 2. Orions, Pirates of Orion. And I don't know why they pronounce it like that. Are they supposed to be different? Are they not supposed to be the green? Because they're not the green. This is where the blue Orions come from. Anyway, so here we go. And now it's telling us, look, directed by Bill Reed. All these were directed by Bill Reed. Then when we get to the end, it says directed by Hal Sutherland. But apparently that's an oversight. But anyway, Pirates of Orion. Anyway, right. So, what they're doing here? They're taking something. Something happens to Spock. He gets ill. They're going to Deneb 5. Didn't want to encounter at Farpoint on Deneb 4. So I thought that was as far as they'd been. So because he said, beyond which lies the great unexplored mass of the galaxy. It is in TNG. It's like 100 years after this. But whatever. Never mind. Anyway, Spock's ill. He's got choriocytosis. And they need some medicine for him. And it's going to be... there's a freighter. Oh, this is the freighter, the Huron, that's got the F in the... its registry number. They're going to rendezvous with medicine and something else, and they get intercepted by the Orions. Hang on, where are we? At least they didn't crash into a fish tank. And if you check out my short, you'll see TMP Orions 2. Shameless plug. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I remember that. Shameless plug for the millions around the world. All 2 of them. Sorry, don't need that when I do. What? Anyway, whatever. Right. Yes, yeah. On your album, you're looking at aliens on the vinyl album. Anyway, right. So Spock's ill. Right. and they've got to rendezvous with the Huron, but the Huron encounters. This is the crew of the USS Huron. There we go. It's an NCC F1913. Is it a 3 or a 5? Can't tell. But a weird design. I said the TMP, but T is the. It's like saying ATM machine or PIN number. But we do, don't we? We do. Anyway. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, well, this is the Huron that the Enterprise is rendezvousing with, but they get attacked by Orion pirates. There they are. We see that ship again in Lower Decks, or that design of ship. And we see the... is it going to show them? Oh, I don't think we've gone too far. It might not show them yet. We might see them later. No, I don't think we see the occupants yet. We don't know who they are. Anyway, let's say Spock's ill. And the Enterprise gets to the Huron. I'm not sure, are the crew dead or are they just unconscious? But anyway, the beam over. There we go. The crew's not dead. They're fine. They're just unconscious. And he sends Scotty to the cargo bay, and there we go. Scotty says it's all gone, including the medicine for Spock. So they've got to track down the ship that robbed the Huron, and they follow the trail or whatever that they can follow. So they follow that trail, and look, Lieutenant Eric's doing science officer duty. There he is. Right. So anyway, they catch up to the Orions. Here we go. We're going to see them now. There they are. The blue Orions, but they don't call them blue, they just call them Orions. And are they supposed to be different to Orions? I don't know. But it's spelt Orion. Is it still spelt? Am I looking at the right one? Yes, because it says Pirates of Orion, doesn't it, in the title? So it's spelt the same way. But is it supposed to be a different race? But no, because now it is canon that they are the same race as the green Orions. But these are just blue Orions, and they pronounce it differently for some weird reason. I don't know. But even Kirk says Orions in this. See if we...
Orions are not thieves.
There we go, Orions.
We require you to submit to search as per Babel Resolution A12. Reply.
We have no Federation cargo aboard. Orions are not...
Orions. But even Kirk pronounces it Orions as well. Anyway, so... Kirk obviously outwits them, because they're a bit thick, to be completely honest. And... they're in an asteroid field that's basically made of dilithium. It's super explosive. But I don't know why do they keep saying that dilithium in these various things is the source of power for starships when it's not. I don't get it. It's dilithium is used because its crystalline structure allows energy to be diverted into the warp engines and stuff like that, and focused. It's a focusing thing, isn't it? The power for the warp engines comes from hydrogen. I forgot what they call it now. That form of hydrogen. I think it's H3 or something like that, or whatever. Comes from that. That's the fuel, isn't it? But anyway, whatever. An antimatter. Whatever. Anyway, I forgot what we're talking about now. All right, yes, he outwits them, gets the medicine for Spock, and Spock's fine, and all that stuff. And there we go. And on the way they go. Hang on, go back again. Watch credits. There you go. Directed by Hal Sutherland when it wasn't. Deuterium. Yes, that's it. I tell you, my mind blanks. Deuterium. and anti-deuterium as well, isn't it? That anyway, whatever. That's a fun episode only because of the Orions. That's the only reason it's fun. And if you watch Lower Decks, it makes it even better. So there we go. Right, next up. Don't like this episode. This next one. Bem. Kind of reminds me of that Buck Rogers episode with Mark Leonard in it. Where he could take his head off. That one. In season 2 of Buck Rogers. But anyway, next one is Bem. Skip intro. Who wrote this bugger? David Gerald. Was it Gerald? I don't know. Right, so Harry Bem, commander, honorary commander from the planet Pandro, is there to check out. Oh yeah, another random alien Lower Decks brought back. Or did they do Bem as well? A Pandro person. Can't remember. Anyway, here he is. He's there basically just to do a report, essentially, on the Enterprise crew. There he is. And he can detach himself. He's what they call him, a colony alien or something like that. He's all his parts can separate. Anyway, they go down to this planet, and they get... it basically starts causing trouble because he's an idiot. They had the female one running the efficiency drills where Bonley did the Borg training. Oh, was that one of them? I can't remember. I remember the episode, but I can't remember what she was like. Fair enough. So it basically, puts a big spanner in the works and is like making them break the Prime Directive and stuff like that. And they end up getting captured by the natives. But the natives are protected by a super powerful being. Or is it a computer? Can't remember. But we're going to see it in a minute. Anyway, so they have to prove not only to Bem that they are worthy of a good report, but they've also got to prove to this super powerful alien that these inhabitants of this planet are her children. That they're not savages, they're not going to wipe them out and all that stuff. But anyway, the upshot is, they win, and Bem kind of says, "I'm going to have to destroy myself because I'm rubbish." And I'm like, "Yeah, do." But they said, "No, don't. You'll be fine. We all make mistakes," and off they go on their merry way. What a crap episode! I hate that episode. It's probably my least favourite episode. And there are some pretty bad ones, to be completely honest. But I don't know. I just don't like Bem. And if we're in live action, I'd hate him even more, probably. So, moving on. Terrible episode. The Practical Joker is next. It's another one that's not amazing, but I don't know. It's a bit of a laugh, I suppose. Because it's a practical joke. Right. Here we go. Hang on. Who wrote this bugger? Chuck Menville. Let's make sure we're still going. Yeah. Then. Right, so, Practical Joker. This is the one where the Enterprise goes through this cloud. I think it's getting chased. Yeah, it's getting chased by Klingons, or is it Romulans? Can't remember. Hang on. Romulans. Getting chased by Romulans. And in Klingon ships, them Romulans. Here they are, look. I know that's Klingon music, but when they see three, are the Katinga class or D7s? Don't know, but anyway, they're getting chased by Romulans. I think the Romulans have gone into Federation space. I think in this, have they? Yeah, I think they might be in an area that the Romulans are claiming is their space. That's it. But that's what they're doing. And so they got to basically run away from them, and they end up going through a. Hang on, we haven't got to that bit yet. There we go. They go through a cloud. There we go. That's all weird and it's all good. Doing that effect. So they go through this cloud, and the Romulans don't follow them through. So, but then afterwards, things start going weird on the Enterprise, and with practical jokes, spilling things, and the food synthesizers not working properly, and the buttons not doing what they're supposed to do, and all that. And then you hear the computer giggling. So, anyways, that's what it is. Something in the cloud. I don't know if it explains it. Does it tell us in this? It just says affected by the ship's passage through the energy field. It doesn't say how or why, but it is. The Enterprise's computer just decided to start playing practical jokes on everybody. But it gets to the stage where it's getting dangerous, and But they find out that if they go back through the cloud, by the way, on here, they're not on an icy planet. They're in the holodeck. Except they called it the recreation room. But it's the holodeck. Because we saw it earlier on there. Hang on, where are we? So Uhura, Sulu, and McCoy I've decided to go to the holodeck for some reason and go for a walk in the woods. And but anyway, but it's not the holodeck; it's the recreation room. Anyway, so they're trying to work out how to stop the computer doing all this stuff, and obviously it's ahead of them all the time, and stopping them from fixing it. So anyway, eventually Kirk outwits it. Oh, the Romulans come back, by the way, and the Enterprise creates inflatable Enterprises to outwit the Romulans, which it doesn't do, but it thinks it's hilarious. There's the inflatable Enterprise. I'm going to show you shooting it. They shoot it and it deflates. Oh, in a minute. We've been tricked. I bet it's James Doohan again.
But that Federation ship blasted into space dust.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's William Shatner. I don't know. But does it say? Does it say? No, it doesn't say. Hang on. It's Norm Prescott playing the Romulan commander. Was one of the producers, isn't he, of the series. So there we go. Hey CBS, I'll buy a 1-to-1 full-size inflatable Enterprise. Make it happen. Has somebody built a life-size Enterprise? Because I saw on YouTube, recommendations. It says full-size Enterprise model or something like that. And I thought, somebody built a full-size Enterprise somewhere. I didn't watch it, you see, because I didn't get a chance. Anyway. So they've got to get away from the Romulans, and he outwits the computer. He says, "Oh no, we can't go back into the energy field." There was one in the 90s somewhere. I don't know, but I said I didn't watch it. I should have watched it. Then it'd been in my history, and I could have found it again, couldn't I? But it on the thumbnail it showed like a huge model of the Enterprise. The original series Enterprise. And I think the title was something like, full size Enterprise replica. But anyway, so I don't know if inside as well. I don't know, but anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. So that's why he's looking scared there. Actually, did a good job here, because I thought, what's he doing? What's going on here? But he was tricking the computer, saying, "Don't go in there," and the computer's like, "Ha ha! I don't want to go in there." So we will. So the ship flies itself through the energy field, and when it comes out the other side, the computer's back to normal. But obviously the Romulans follow them in this time, and so their computers are going to go crazy. But that's their hard lines, isn't it? So there we go. So yeah, whatever. Shush. So there we go. So that's that one. That was what was it? The Practical Joker, which turned out to be the Enterprise itself. You know, it were all right. It were all right. Nice to see the holodeck / recreation room. So there we go. Next up, Albatross. It's this one. Hang on, where are we? If someone built a full size with all the main rooms and corridors, it would cost a ton. But I imagine it would be a massive tourist destination. While classic fans can still travel. I'm going to have to look it up now. I'm going to have to look it up. I'll see if I can find the YouTube video. Full size Enterprise. Right. Oh, bloody spell. Let's see if it is. Epic full-size Starship Enterprise under construction, but that's a different thumbnail to what I saw. Just bear with me. I can't show you either, I don't think, because I'd have to stop sharing that other page. Right, if I find it, I'll put a link in the chat. It might be that one then. They might have changed the thumbnail image. Let's have a look. Where are we? Where is it? Where is it? Shush. That's not full size, is it? 7-story building. Let me skip through it. I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. Or is he just pretending? I don't know if he's doing it. Anyway, I'll put a link for this in the chat. Where are we? Here. Oops. I notice the thumbnail's changing a lot now, that you can load 3 at a time. Can you? Oh, right, I hadn't noticed. I hadn't noticed that you could. Anyway, right, next up, what episode are we on? What's this one? Episode 4, the Albatross. Sorry, not the Albatross. Albatross. And not a hint of Fleetwood Mac. Bling, bling, bling. Right, so this one where McCoy gets accused of killing hundreds of people on the planet thingamabob. Dramia, is it Dramia? If I've remembered that. Oh, yes, it is Dramia, yes. Blimey. I couldn't remember some things and not others. Yes, he gets accused of killing people on I think Dramia 2, I think. There's the planet Dramia and planet Dramia 2. And he gets accused of killing loads of people because he went there to help with this plague that were going on, and they're accusing him of killing more people. And they arrest him, legally arrest him, have a warrant and everything. So he gets locked up. So Kirk and Spock, the Enterprise, they go off to Dramia 2 to investigate. And they find out that he saved lives there. So they've got to go back. And there we go, they find this fella who says, McCoy, I remember him, he saved my life. So they get him on the Enterprise and they head off back, and but then he gets ill and he starts turning blue, and everybody on the Enterprise starts turning blue as well. Hang on, there we go. Except for Spock, but even Lieutenant Eric's turns blue. I don't think we see Maress. Maybe she's turned blue as well. But obviously, Vulcans are immune to everything. So he's fine. So he's taking control of the Enterprise and getting it back to Dramia. And they've got to break out McCoy from jail so he can go back to the Enterprise and cure everybody, which they do. And then he's cleared of all charges. It was a mistake, and they can go and whatever. It's not bad. It's just not much to it, to be honest. But It's a story we've seen a lot in Star Trek. One of the crew gets accused of something, and then they've got to clear their name, and obviously they do. But fine. It's okay. And they all turn blue, except for Spock. Bloody Spock and his bloody green blood, eh? Anyway, sorry, Wingrace, didn't see that. You can load three thumbnails, and it cycles through them as a test, see which ones work best. Oh, makes that your main after a couple of weeks. Oh, I didn't even know that. I just upload one image, and that's your lot. Anyway. Right, so there we go. So that was Albatross. It's fine. It's okay. By the way, none of the episodes of animated series I think are great. I think they're all just okay. I don't know, not even Yesteryear, which I think is the best episode. Not even that is great. It's all right. Maybe I'm just a big mangy bugger. Except Pirates of Orion, where only Spock got sick. That's true. That's true. Yeah. That's his payment for being immune to everything else. Anywho, next up. What's next up? This is. I was giggling at this one. Next up is how sharper than a serpent's tooth, the penultimate episode. Get up, you noisy bugger. Right, who wrote this? Russell Bates and David, two people wrote this. This is a proper Eric von Daniken episode, I suppose you could say. Right, the Enterprise is... we're in the Sixers, by the way. Stardate 63.4. Is this the one where they're back at Earth? There's a probe that's gone to Earth. I think is it at Earth? Let me check. See what he says. Hang on. Just bear with me. I'm sure they're saying it. They're back at Earth and they go and do this stuff. But anyway, find the source of the Enterprise, tracing the origin. Here we go. Of a mysterious alien space probe. It approached the Federation homeworlds. Made a scan of Earth system, so it might not have gone quite to Earth, but it were on the way, and they found the origin of it, so they're going out there. And the Enterprise encounters a spaceship that turns. Hang on. Turns into a huge plumed serpent. In a minute. There it is. That's it. It's a big spaceship, and then it has like a holographic thing over it. Changes into a plumed serpent. There it is. I bet it is. I bet that's that music playing. Anyway, they're all surprised. They don't know what it is, but one crew member does, who we've never seen before. In a minute. So we hear his voice. I think it's James Doohan doing the voice again, I think. Or is this one Leonard Nimoy? Hang on, let's have a listen. It's not speaking yet, hang on. There we go. So that's I think it's Lieutenant Walking Bear. I think that's what it's called. Yes, Ensign Walking Bear. So he's one of Chakotay's ancestors. And McCoy loved it. Loved Spock getting sick. Yes, he did. Anyway, did Walking Bear appear on Lower Decks? Or you're about somebody else? Or Kukulkan, Khan, which William Shatner pronounces as Kukulkan, all the way through. Anyway, so he says it's Kukulkan. We're going to hear him speak.
Kukulkan, Captain.
Just let him.
All of your kind shall perish.
Don't know. It's done the voice of Kukulkan. Does it say on this? It doesn't say, does it? Does it say? Does it say? Doesn't say who did the voice of Cuckoo Khan. Probably James Doohan. Or the winged serpent. Oh, that in Lower Decks. I can't bloody remember. I'm sure I'm going bloody senile. It gets me dead mad. Anyway. So we recognise him as Cuckoo Khan. So he's obviously from, Central America, I imagine. But they call him Walking Bear. But never mind. So it's kind of like Apollo from Who Mourns for Adonais, except it's Cuckoo Khan this time, but also known as Quetzalcoatl and Viracocha and all them. Like I say, it's very Eric von Daniken. He'd visited Earth thousands of years ago, and treated as a god, etc. And now he wants them to worship him, but obviously they're not going to worship him, so they beam over to his ship, and it's all looks like he beams them over. No, he beams they get beamed over by Cuckoo Khan or Kukulkan Khan, and it's all this lush jungle. I suppose it's supposed to look like Central America, look, and then a pyramid appears. Shut up. A pyramid appears surrounded by these statues. So anyway, right. So Kirk decides to go running up the pyramid. He says, "I'm going to climb those stairs." So I want to find the bit with Kirk that says Cuckoo Khan. Hang on, just a minute. Is it this one? Let's go back again.
Build a city according to its
Oh, my bad. James Doohan doing Walking Bear. It's just Scotty again, isn't it?
On the date the city was finished, Kukulkan was supposed to return. The Mayas built...
No, that's still him talking, isn't it? Come on, Kirk, you say it.
Parts of his knowledge to build their cultures.
Does that mean they all...
Oh, Pete's sake.
The date the city was finished, Kukulkan was supposed to return. The Mayas built their city and waited. Kukulkan never appeared.
Kukulkan must have...
Kukulkan? Can't even say it. Is it thick? I imagine they recorded each part separately and nobody pulled him up on it. Or maybe they did. Wait, Bill, it's Kukulkan. Kukulkan. No, it's Kukulkan. 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 Anyway, whatever. I just found it hilarious. Right, so he's going to go running up this pyramid. So he gets to the top, and then they realise that to turn the statues round and reflect the sun into into that, and it's going to make Kukulkan appear. There he is. I'm sure Shatner just rolled in and said whatever. I'm sure he did. Yes. I bet they did all 22 episodes in one day. I bet they just rattled them off. Anyway, so Kukulkan appears. There he is. The plumed serpent. But like a poor marksman, he keeps missing the target. Is he a bloodsucker? Anyway. So Kukulkan appears, and basically another one where, he's saying, we don't worship gods anymore, and he's like, well, what am I here for then? And it shows him his menagerie of various animals, including a Capellan something cat, I don't know, some electric cat that the Enterprise is trapped, by the way. They make this cat escape, and it smashes all the other cages. There we go. There we go, like that. And then it makes all the other animals escape. Look at the state of that. Anyway, what's it called? Does it say what it's called? I forgot what they call it. Pardon me. Power cat. There we go. A Capellan power cat. Pardon me. We don't worship gods anymore, except that one time, yes, Kirk said. They found the one more than enough. Yeah, I don't think they said that in this, or worse to that effect. But that's worse to that effect, what they say, they don't worship gods. Anyway, so, there you go. You can't control one of your own creatures, and anyway, so they come to an understanding, obviously, by the end, and everything's lovely. Because Kirk sedates the power cat, and what does it say here? Kirk again I've forgotten how it ends. Kirk again attempts to reason with Kukulkan, Khan, conceding that while the alien did help humanity when it needed it, they no longer need his guidance. Then the alien said, Kukulkan Khan says, "All right, whatever. I can't be bothered with you." Is that what it says?
But not quite.
I want to hear him say Kukulkan Khan again.
Chinese dragon.
Hang on.
The
Oh, for Pete's sake.
God from the ancient legends.
and the Toltecs.
Come on, I want to see you say Kukulkan Khan.
What I can.
Say it!
Interesting, Captain. The creature was...
Oh, never mind. Not going to say it, is it? Not going to give me my fun. Anyway, so off he goes to do his own thing, and there we go. So that's the end of that episode. I quite like that episode, because as I said, it's very Eric Von Daniken and all that stuff. Chariots of the Gods, etc. That's my vibe. So, yeah, cool episode. And it's hilarious, because he can't say Kukulkan Khan. He says Kukulkan Khan. So there we go. It's like saying nuclear instead of nuclear, isn't it? I bet William Shatner says nuclear. Bet he does. Anyway, right, so one more episode. The counterclock incident is next. The final episode. Where we meet. Shut up. Who wrote this one? John Culver. Where we meet Commodore. I think it's Commodore. Commodore Robert April. This is that one. They're supposed to be taking them to some... I think Babel. Is they going to Babel? But he pronounced it Babel. But anyway, is it this one? Yes, they're going to Babel, however you pronounce it. Robert April and his wife Sarah. It's James Doohan doing Robert April, and Sarah voiced by Nichelle Nichols, and she just doesn't sound any different. The Wrath of Kukulkan Khan. Anyway, so they're taking them. They're old people now. Taking them to Babel for this conference. She's got this flower that's going to die in a few hours. But anyway, but on the way, stuff happens. There we go. They encounter an energy thing. And they're chasing a ship. That's it. It's just come to me. They're chasing a ship appears, and they're chasing. It's heading for a supernova. Oh, why? Yes. It's all bloody coming back to me now. The Beta Niobe supernova. And I was thinking, hang on, is Beta Niobe where Sarpedon is in the episode Time for Yesterday? I'm gonna check now. So just bear with me. Sarpedon. Yes, it is. Yes. So, as we know, I'm just checking in the Memory Alpha. As we know, in the episode, I think it's Time for Yesterday, isn't it? All Our Yesterdays. No, the book was Time for Yesterday. In the episode All Our Yesterdays, they went to planet Sarpedon, which were going to be destroyed by the Beta Niobe star going nova. Not supernova, going nova. And in this one, they're saying it's going to go supernova. So, obviously, this is set afterwards. So, there we go. Don't mention Sarpedon. I don't say, we've been here before. But don't mention that. But I wonder if they'd forgot. But anyway, never mind. Anyway, they're chasing this ship. This ship is heading straight for the supernova. They say it'll be destroyed. And so they put a tractor beam on it. But the ship's too powerful, and it's basically dragging them, and they end up going at warp 20 and stuff like that. They say, all right, well, we can't. I don't know why they don't just turn off the tractor beam. Maybe it explains it. I don't know. But anyway, they end up getting dragged into the supernova, and they end up in a reverse universe. All right, they contacted this woman on this ship, and she was speaking backwards. They end up in this a literal mirror universe where everything's backwards. Look, the Enterprise is flying backwards. The letter's not mirrored, man. And the stars are black on a white space and stuff like that. So they're in a negative universe. But they all start, and the clocks are going backwards as well. So it's a bit like the Red Dwarf episode, Backwards, which I hate. People love that episode, but I bloody hate that episode. But anyway. Time's going backwards. All the crew start getting younger. So, obviously, Spock being Vulcan, it doesn't affect him quite as much. And also Robert April and his wife being much older than the rest of the crew. He ends up taking command of the Enterprise because he stays, older for longer. And anyway, they get back out. They work their way back out into our universe. There's Kirk getting younger. He ends up being a kid. I think they'll end up as babies, in sick bay, But anyway, that's another one where they use the Enterprise. They use the transporters to set themselves right again. That's young Robert April. Anyway, they get back into our universe, and you'll use the transporters because it'll have their pattern, in the memory banks. So they can make everybody their normal age again, which just means with the transporters you'll be immortal, won't you? The transporters like the fountain of youth, or anything. But anyway, so they do that, and then his wife suggests that they stay young forever. Look, they have a good snog look because they're young again. And then he says, no, we've got to do what's right, and we've got to make ourselves old again. So they do. So they go through the transport as well, and they go back to their proper age. But then Uhura comes over the comm and says, because of what Robert April did, they saved the Enterprise and all that, he doesn't have to retire, and he's going to be able to carry on working and stuff like that, because they were going to force him to retire. And there we go. And everybody's happy, and the flowers come back for some reason. Because it got young again, so I presume it'll die in a minute, but never mind. And there we go. So that's the end of that episode. Oh look, we're done. Back to browse. Oh, so yeah, there we go. I like that episode, the counterclock incident. It's a hang on, where are we? Go back to resume. There we go. It's I like that. Like I say, it's because it's got Robert April in, even though it's the wrong colour. Never mind. Because if you watch Strange New Worlds, we saw Robert April, who's an admiral in that. So they obviously got demoted because they were Admiral Robert April in Strange New Worlds, but then afterwards in this one is a Commodore. I'm sure he's Commodore. Yes, Commodore. So he obviously gets demoted. But then again, the kind of in TNG, they kind of got rid of, in the Berman Trek, they kind of got rid of Commodores, didn't they? Until they decided to make Geordie a Commodore. But until then, they got rid of the Commodore rank, and I think that they basically made it, the lowest rank of Admiral, didn't they? I think, like a 1-star Admiral or whatever you want to call it. Or a Commodore. But anyway, the counterclock incident. It's a good episode. I like that one because it's an interesting one, and like I say, it's all about timey-wimey and all that stuff. Except it's not time travel; it's just time going backwards. And I like that, even though I don't like the Red Dwarf episode that probably inspired this. This inspired it, but maybe. But there we go. So that's it. That's all of the episodes of Star Trek, the animated series. Some are good, some not so good, but none of them. I know I said one of them I hated, the Ben one, but nah, I don't think I hated it. I just didn't like it a lot. None of them were absolutely terrible. They're all okay in their own way, but some of them are a bit weird. And it's made for kids. When all's said and done, gonna do the movies? Is that what you're trying to say? No, I'm not doing the movies. Just doing the series. I'm just doing the classic Trek. I'm just doing, Next up is TNG, and so I'm doing TNG next, then DS9, then Voyager, then Enterprise. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing the new stuff because for. So anyway, so there we go. So that's the animated series. It's well worth a watching. If you're in the UK, it's on Netflix. It's also on Paramount Plus as well, if you subscribe to that. So anyway, so there we go. Right, get rid of that. Right, so stop sharing. Right. So we'll leave it there. We're all done now. We're moving on to Next Generation. I think what I'm going to do now, instead of cramming them all in, trying to get them all in a week, because it's hard work, I might skip a week. I might do it every 2 weeks, if you know what I mean. So I can watch every episode. I'll still bloody forget everything, but at least I'll not be rushing to cram every episode in. So I think the next episode won't be next week, it'll be the week after. We're going to do it every other week. So there we go. Right, so what's coming up next for me on Friday? Oh, I haven't got my thing, it's up there. On Friday for an appointment with Fear this week, we're doing Evil Dead 2. We did Evil Dead 1 a few weeks ago, didn't we? I thought, sod it, let's do Evil Dead 2. So that's this Friday. So there we go, that's that. And then next Monday, we'll be doing Austin Powers, which I should have done last Monday, but for reasons, I couldn't do it. I wasn't actually feeling too good. I wasn't ill, I just couldn't do it. So there we go. So we're doing that next Monday. So we'll leave it there. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll be doing Season 1 of TNG, which should be fun. There's some good episodes in Season 1. There really is. There really is. Some not so good. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Anyway, so there we go. So we're getting into what I call proper Star Trek now. I know without original series, we wouldn't have had TNG and all that. But it was improved enormously. Particularly, sorry to say, particularly after Roddenberry kind of left the scene. But anyway, I know that's heresy, but never mind. It's what I feel. Right, I'm going now. So, thanks, Windgrace, for keeping me company, and anybody else that watched. I'll try and remember more. I do. Like I say, I think I'll do better with the newer stuff, with the TNG and all that stuff. I think I'll do better. Famous last words, but we'll see. Right, so I'm going now. So, thanks for. Oh, hang on, what happened then? Yes, Josh Temple. Yes, he's lurking in the background, isn't he? Sorry, Matt Harbour. Matt Harbour's lurking in the background, driving about. Anyway, so right, we will leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Live long and prosper, and until next time in 2 weeks. I'll say the live long and prosper. I'll say the whatever. I'm all over the place.